Check out this jewellery lot that came up at auction. Can you see why it sparked my interest? Now it's time to talk about jewellery, and this is the first jewellery haul video of the channel, so if you like unboxing or haul videos then stay tuned as we'll be going through the auction lot that I showed you at the start. Now I might need your help with identifying some of the pieces, so if you've got any suggestions as we go through them, let me know in the comments below. They not only help me but might also help other viewers that might be trying to find out what the items are or might have questions, but also let me know if you do spot the special item that sparked my interest to actually bid on the lot. So I think I got the lot for a really reasonable price for everything that was in there, but do let me know at the end, once we've gone through the pieces, do you think it was good value for money for what was in there? Now the sound might change as I've moved the microphone just for this different setup, and you'll see I've put all of the jewellery around the outside and want to bring it into the centre to have a look at each piece. Now with the table I've put a piece of cloth on top of it just to avoid any clanking sounds being picked up by the microphone. So let's have a look at the first piece. So this is the first piece. As you can see, this is a cloisonné pendant. It's got black enamel and different colours, green, pink, purple and orange enamel for the design, which is tulips and a butterfly. It's a spinner pendant, so you can see that it's got the design on both sides, so it doesn't matter how this sits. It's clearly on a very old chain, and the chain unfortunately has some knots in it. So I'm going to have to try and figure out how to untangle those, which is one of the joys of pre-loved jewellery. Sometimes you get it where the chains are tangled, not just within themselves, but often tangled together. So I will try that. I've heard twisting and possibly pins are a good way to get fine chains straight again. So I'll give that a go after the video. Now this necklace is quite deceptive, so on first impression it looks like it could be Bakelite from this lighter orange, or possibly amber from these two-toned beads, and it's got that style of the graduated bead and the very glossy finish that you would see in those sorts of pieces. But on closer inspection, the colour, the black markings that you sometimes see in amber, in these beads, they are clearly colour swirls in the plastic, so it is very obviously plastic beads. And also on closer inspection, I've seen this with a few types of necklaces like this, or beads like this. To get the glossy finish, the bead is actually coated in a clear plastic, and in the light you can see over time and age that has started to come off a little bit, and you get bubbles underneath the surface, so you can't see it from a distance, it just looks like the glossy finish, but on close inspection you can see it. And very similar to imitation pearls, you can check the ends of them where the drill holes are, and on imitation pearls you see the coating sometimes starts to wear away there, and this is doing the same with the plastic coating as well. Still a lovely piece. It's got individually knotted beads, still very nice colour, glossy beads, and this brass barrel clasp to finish. So it is an older piece. It's very clearly imitation amber though, but it's good if you wanted the style of an amber necklace but without the price tag. So as we've just mentioned imitation pearls, here is an imitation pearl necklace. These look like they would have been very good quality to begin with, but you can clearly see the coating coming off many of these. It does have a very nice clasp though, so this would go into a spare or repair lot if someone wanted to reuse that clasp, or possibly craft with this if they could, but this wouldn't be for sale on its own. Now this is a wonderful necklace, and I thought we'd carry on from the pearls onto real pearls and shell. This is a wonderful large piece of carnelian, so a carnelian disc, the gemstone carnelian. It's got a lovely orange colour as you can see in the light, and then it's got various different pieces of gemstone and shell and pearl in the necklace, what would be the chain. So we've got pieces of carnelian, the orange pieces, we've got are these peacock pearls or blue and grey pearls, freshwater, dotted throughout to give it that lovely colour that sort of changes in the light, almost that sort of colour that you get on polarised sunglasses or even like AB coatings, but on the pearls. And then these little, this might sound a bit strange, but these beads, these white ones, look to me like they're almost in the shape of teeth, but they're not. They're sort of a cone shape, and they are shell. So we've got shell, we've got carnelian, we've got freshwater pearl. So this looks like it's been handmade. You can see the wire wrappings around the end. So this could be a modern piece, it could be a vintage piece. but it has clearly been handmade, and it's been made well as well with nice pieces. So I'd still resell this, potentially in the region of about 20 to 25, similar to the first necklace that we looked at. This necklace is super special. This I didn't realise was as special as it is when I picked up the auction lot. It's only on further inspection that I've noticed what this actually is. So this is a carved shoe necklace. It's a Chinese necklace with the shoe symbol on the beads and a carved flower. It's all out of carnelian, so just like the necklace that we saw a moment ago with the disc, this one is made out of the same wonderful orange gemstone. Now, I originally thought these were carved flowers. Often you can get necklaces or bracelets that are made with carved roses, and you can get those as gemstones, glass, plastic, or even pressed rose petals. But on further inspection, if I can find the right side of the bead, or on either side of the bead, they have a little round symbol that has been carved into each of them, and it looks like it's on either side of the bead. That is a shoe symbol, and in Chinese culture, that is symbolic of a prosperous and long life. So this could have been a very meaningful gift for someone, or potentially what someone might have bought themselves to give themselves maybe good luck, protection, prosperity, and a long life. So a wonderful, meaningful item. And this is an antique piece. This, I would say, is maybe late 19th century, early 20th century. Looking at the clasp as well, this took me much longer than it should have to figure out how this works. So the clasp is on the front of the piece, as this is the main pendant, if you like, or acts as the pendant as well, with the carved flower on, and the clasp is on the front of it. So if I just pull my glove up a little bit so I can get this, and that just pops open like that, and then you can pop it on. So this is very weighty, all of the carved gemstone, and very cold. So if you were to put this on, you might get a shock to begin with before it warms up after wearing it for a bit. This piece alone, these sell without the beads for over £100. The beads included could be another 200 to 300. So this is a very valuable piece, more valuable than I thought was in the auction lot. So very pleased that this is in there, and such a wonderful piece as well to look at and research. Now put these two necklaces together, it's back down to earth with the valuations. So these look like they are more modern pieces, likely from a high street retailer. Still very nice necklaces. This one's a white bead one with some silver tone spacers with an intricate design on them, but it's nothing vintage or maybe valuable that I can see. This one is very weighty. This is a solid glass heart, so black glass, very heavy, and it's got all of these metal hoops on it as well. Not precious metal, metal chain as well, as you can hear it there probably. As I said, it's probably from a high street retailer. There's no markings on it to say it's any other designer, so these will probably go on Vinted rather than going on my other platforms, or possibly even together as a job lot rather than selling individually. Now, keeping with the black glass, this is a wonderful piece. This is a very long black glass necklace. Each of these little beads are individually knotted on. They are all faceted as well, so they catch the light as they move about. And this is the sort of length that you might see in the 1920s and 30s that they would wear. And you could either double them up to get multiple strands on the front, or potentially have some on the front and then some on the back as well. The quality of this piece, I do think it is an older piece, and it has been well looked after. The fact that these have been individually knotted on as well, this would have taken someone a long time to actually put this all together. It's got a very nice weight to it as well, and just that very understated almost because of the black, but with that extra sparkle from the facets, as you can see there in my hands. So this is a wonderful piece, not particularly valuable, but still a nice piece to add to the collection or to the shop. So maybe 20 to 25 for something like that. Now, keeping with the same style, here is another very long necklace, so could be worn in exactly the same way as those black glass beads that we've just looked at. This one has a real mix of beads on it, so we've got these amber or champagne coloured foil beads that are made out of glass. We've got imitation pearls and little flower beads, lots of other metallic beads down the side. Now, I did think this could be a vintage piece, but on closer inspection, there is, sorry, I've just knocked the springs on the camera hold, if that picked up on the microphone. We've got these little flower beads here, which are very clearly moulded, 2 halves stuck together and made out of some sort of silver coloured plastic, it looks like. So these are something very modern by the looks of it. So I think this is actually a modern high street piece, just like the 2 that we saw before. This one is a very interesting chain. I can't actually tell if this looks like it could potentially be designer or if it's just very cheap. It's one of those ones that kind of falls in between. So it's got a nice finish on it. It's got a very nice gold tone to it. All of the links look like they are made quite well and very uniform. It does have this maker's tag on it, or I assume it's a maker's tag, with something on the back. I think that might be a mark, but then it's got this unusual symbol on the front, which kind of looks like a C or an incomplete O. And the shape of the tag as well is just really unusual. It almost looks like a guitar pleck with a point at the bottom but then rounded around the sides. So I've not seen this before. I've tried to find it online and I cannot see what this symbol is or what manufacturer this might lead to. It could just be a very cheap high street piece or even just a cheap imported piece, and it might not be worth anything. But equally, it does kind of have a look to it that looks like it could be something a little bit more if I could figure out what it was. So in the presence of doubt, this will likely go with the pieces on Vinted or in a job lot because I can't identify what it actually is. But let me know if you know what that symbol is, if you know who the maker is of this piece with that pleck shape tag and the C symbol. Now this next necklace is a wonderful piece. This looks very similar to the one that we looked at earlier, the orange one, but this one instead still has the graduated beads, the very glossy beads, but this is a deep shade of red. Now this is a cherry amber Bakelite necklace. Unlike the other one earlier that was an imitation amber, this is real Bakelite. So these are all cherry amber Bakelite beads, all graduated, as you can see the size different, all paired off down the side until it gets to this large bead in the centre. And the beads are just fantastic, stunning colour or depth of colour on them, and that wonderful glossy finish. So this does have a very high value. These are very sought after in the Bakelite world, particularly in terms of this colour. I'm not sure if it's quite the same value as this, the carved carnelian necklace, but we shall see if we come to resell it, or maybe it will stay in the collection. And this is another really nice necklace. So this, you can see, has a tribal design. It looks like it is handmade. I can't quite tell if it's modern or if it is vintage. It's very well made and it's been very well looked after. It's got this nice gold tone or brass medallion on the front with wooden beads, and then these are all what feel like clay beads. So it's got a really nice weight to it. Now this, while it might not be as valuable as the Bakelite or the carnelian pieces that we looked at earlier, I think it is definitely worth selling by itself, unlike some of those other modern pieces that we looked at earlier that will likely get put in a job lot. And this next one's quite an unusual style choker necklace. So looking at it a bit closer, it is all leather. So it's like a cord of leather with a silver or grey finish to it. And it's got this sparkly bit at the front. So the sparkles really offset against this very, very simple leather cord. This is actually the clasp, so it's a magnetic clasp, so it's easy to put on, and then you've got that close fit around the neck of that choker style. Now I did have to image search to see what it was and see if I could find any comparisons, and this I did find an exact match, and you can actually get these in different colours as well with different coloured cords. This is a piece by Dansk Copenhagen, so it's a Danish company that sell these, and they usually retail for about £50 thereabouts when they are new. So this could potentially have a value of about maybe £25 because it's in very good condition. The leather isn't worn in any way that I can see, and it's all the crystals are still there. It still works perfectly fine with the magnetic clasp. So I thought that was quite interesting and something I've not seen before. So learning as we go, which is always good. So did you identify the special piece that I mentioned at the start? This is the only reason I bought the auction lot. The other pieces in there were all bonuses compared to this. So this is the Cherry Amber Bakelite necklace, and if you recognise this as the special item, you'll know why. This is a very valuable piece, or in other terms, expensive. So if you are a collector and you want to get this into your collection, then that means forking out a lot of money to get one of these individually, or if you're a reseller, that means potentially profit if you can get it for the right price and getting money back into your business. So these do hold a lot of value. Obviously the value does depend on a number of things: the condition, the size, shape, weight of the beads, for example, not just with these particular necklaces, but other items of Bakelite jewellery as well. But this particular colour, the cherry amber colour, holds a higher value than a lot of other pieces. So these are incredibly special and good to get into your collection or to resell if you can find them for the right price. Now it is worth noting it's not all about value. This is a stunning necklace. Just look at the depth of colour, the glossiness of the beads, and just how well made it is. And that goes for all Bakelite jewellery. So you'll see there are other pieces in the background here, and that is just a small selection of what I've got in the collection. They will be coming up in a new video on the channel imminently over the next couple of weeks. That will be all about Bakelite and how to test it to see if you've got the real thing, and also some tips on getting it for a better price or identifying it in the wild, if you like, when you are out shopping. So if that would be of interest, if you like Bakelite jewellery, if you want to get hold of one of these, then subscribe to the channel and hopefully that video will be useful and you'll be notified when it comes out. And that leads nicely on to the value and what I will decide to do with this one, and how much I paid for them at the auction. So let's look at that next. So while this was the star of the show, for everything in the auction lot, I paid £110 and 50 pence in total. So £85 was my top bid, and then the buyer's premium and taxes went on top of that. So £110, 50 pence, I think is really good value for money for this alone, if I was buying this on its own, but also with all of those other items included. So now that leads me to decide on what I do with the items. So I could resell this for a profit and make more than that £110. That would easily cover the cost of the lot plus more. Or I could potentially try reselling the other items and then make that money back plus profit, and maybe keep this in the collection for a bit longer. Let me know what you think I should do in the comments below, and whether or not you think it was good value for money for all of those items, especially this one. So was there anything else that stood out for you in the auction lot? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you're an enthusiast collector or reseller of vintage and antique jewellery, then subscribe to the channel, as there are going to be so many more videos all covering different aspects of jewellery. Now this is just a small selection from my collection that will be shown in upcoming videos, plus a hint at some of the topics that we will cover, and there will be at least a video once a week. I really need to pace myself as there are so many videos planned, so they could be more frequent than once a week, but definitely at least one a week. So if that is of interest and you'll find those useful, then subscribe and you'll be notified when those videos are out. I will link my intro video at the end, which covers everything you can expect from the channel, so maybe watch that next, and hopefully it will inspire you to join this journey. And as I mentioned in that video as well, this is a collective learning experience, so please do ask any questions in the comments below. I will respond to everyone. Suggest any videos you'd like to see in the comments too, and I will add that to the very long list that I've already got. But hopefully you found this video useful, and as always, thank you for watching Find Vintage Jewellery.